What's up, energy legend? How are you doing today? I doing fantastic. Whoa, what if I emoted like that the entire time? Emoted. Why did I say it like that? Wow, I am zooming right now. What's up? What's new? How are you? How am I? Who are you? Who am I? So I started listening to the Untethered Soul by Michael Singer and posed and it was posed a very interesting question. Who am I? And just going into how to answer that question, what the actual answer is, if you're looking for a very deep, very spiritual answer. And ultimately, through what I am starting to learn right now, is the answer is I'm the one who's here. I'm the one who's aware. I'm the one who notices. It's not a name. It's not a title. It's not a job. It's not a hobby. It's not attributes. It's the one who observes all those things. And there's such a more eloquent, such a better explanation as to how and why and what of all that fun stuff in the book. Please go listen to it. Please go read it. Because truly, it is a mind-blowing book. Yeah, I was about to say something inappropriate and was trying to not do that. But anyways, yeah, super cool stuff. I'm doing fantastic. On another note, I actually left work a little bit early today. And by a little bit early, I mean like a whole 15 minutes. But seeing as how I tend to stay like 2 hours late anyways, or an hour, let's not over exaggerate, an hour and a half, fine. Leaving 15 minutes early, kind of solid. And I'm allowed to do that, I promise, because I am actually way overtime this week. So, anywho, I guess I'm feeling a little pumped up. Had a great dinner. Wow, I'm also now realizing I don't have much today either. So, I noticed this thing where when I have kind of like a routine type day where not much in terms of newness happens, I don't have as much to say unless I had a very spiritual, mental day, awakening moment. So when I have something happens that makes me think a lot. Today, not one of those days. I also didn't really, I would say, like have deep, meaningful conversations with people today. I was just kind of surface level. And sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes I'm not in this, place, state of mind, whatever, that I do dive into that area. Granted, I'd probably like that. I actually do enjoy those conversations. They light me up. Actually, now that I say that out loud, I wonder why I don't do it more. I think I let excuses get in the way of the life that I want to live. And it's not to say I'm trying to force people into these conversations. I just mean in general. I think, therefore I am. No, I've noticed that when I want something to happen and then it doesn't, and I look back on it later, I found that whatever got in the way was mainly just me. Like, I may have used the excuse that it was something around me in my environment. It was someone else. It was, I don't know, whatever, timing, energy, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, it was just me, getting in my own way. Let's be real. You know someone who's the exact same way. You know someone in your life that when you look at them, you say, wow, that person really just lets X, Y, or Z get in the way. And when you look at those people, it could be really easy to, have so many ideas for them and want to give so much advice. And maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you help, in whatever way you can, or maybe you just stay silent. And no matter what, you just notice them making the same choices again and again, making the same decisions again and again, doing the same things, the same actions, the same patterns. And you start to wonder, will they ever change at all? Well, I'll say this, the same goes for myself at times. When I look at myself and, when I show up in these ways and I go, Philip, are you ever going to just lock in? Are you ever going to do this or that, or change this habit or that habit? And what I found, and maybe this will serve as just one more reminder for you, it takes small steps, small decisions, small actions consistently over a long period of time. You may still have old patterns that you want to get rid of. You may notice these old patterns in other people. And for whatever it is that you're working on, not other people, but whatever it is that you're working on, just know that every single time you make a new choice, you are stacking up momentum. So at first, you might have a lot of misses. You might stumble more often than you catch yourself. That's okay. Because at first, we're just working on building up that ability to even catch yourself. Later on, we can worry about, getting that near perfection, right? We're not aiming for perfection here. But what we are aiming for is outstanding results that stand out. So if that means going 1,000 days without doing something that you used to do multiple times a day, that's possible. Because doing something for that long is not about being perfect. It's about just showing up every single day. Building up that power, that ability, that pattern can take time. So instead of beating myself up for what seems like a pattern that's still going on, I actually notice how I'm doing much better than I used to. These periods of times when I go back into old habits, while yes, I'm not proud of myself when I do notice they don't last as long. And I catch it sooner and I take actions faster. And it takes longer in between for me to go back into it. How fascinating is that? I love it. And I just realized I don't know how I got on this topic of conversation. That's how you know it's a good one. Not like, I'm not saying good episode. I mean just like good train of thought. Or maybe that just means ADHD. I don't know. I don't work here. I don't know. I just work here. I don't know what I say these days. I used to have that joke of like, whenever I didn't know how to answer something, I'd just be like, I don't know. I don't work here. And then I started saying that at work. And then I started having to say, I don't know. I just work here. I don't know where I'm going with this. My super ahead clock says it is 22:22. Make a wish. Haha. Anyways, I love you. Truly. You rock. Yeah. Yeah. So, until we meet again, just remember to always fill up with the love. Keep dealing with whatever it is you're dealing with. You're strong. I believe in you. Thank you for putting up with this wacky episode. I love you.